Party people! Welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I am joined once again by my good friend Cole Burkhardt for a GM-less game of Monster of the Week. Cole does like a million different things. They're a podcast voice actor, editor, producer, player on the Blue Dawn cast. You should just follow them at King Cole Minor on Twitter. Check out all of their projects because they're all really good and valuable and worth your time. It's easier to say that than to go through all of the projects individually. Monster of the Week is the Powered by the Apocalypse game of, well, Monster of the Week shows. Your Supernaturals, your Buffy the Vampire Slayers, your Doctors Who, your Fringes. It is a brilliant distillation of TV or cinematic horror tropes powered by the apocalypse. It's a great game. I think this GM-less two-player approach worked brilliantly, and I can't wait for you to hear it. But before we dive in, I want to give you a quick reminder about the Party of One live show at Redcap's Corner. That's 3850 Lancaster Avenue in West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is this Sunday, June 24th at 7 p.m. We will be joined by my friend and yours, Vegas Lancaster, who you remember from the Stories from the Grave episode of Party of One, or from Have Spellbook Will Travel. We're going to be playing a game of Ben Robbins' Follow, which I'm really excited about. It's one of my favorite games, a game we've played before on the show. It's fantastic, and I'm just really excited. And there will be candy. I forgot to mention, there will also be candy. So you should come out, have some candy, hang out with your friends, listen to a great podcast. It's going to be super fun. All of this is part of the 2018 Philadelphia Podcast Festival, which is an incredible collection of live, local, mostly free podcast recordings happening at different venues all over the city, starting this Friday, June 22nd, and running through July 1st. A lot of local shows that I absolutely adore, like The Voice of Free Planet X, John Appetit, Everything is Awesome, Full Belly Laughs, My Gay Agenda. So many good shows are doing live shows in the next few weeks, and it's tremendously exciting. If you're in the Philly area, you should head to phillypodfest.com, check out the schedule, head to some local shows, and see me Sunday, June 24th, 7 p.m., Redcap's Corner, for a live Party of One. I could not be more excited. And with that said, let's throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. This week, I am sitting down once again with Cole Burkhardt. Cole, thank you so much for coming back on Party of One.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here again.
Oh, I'm delighted. I'm very excited to be playing the game this week. But before we get to that, why don't you take a moment and remind everybody of all the cool stuff that you've got going on?
Oh, goodness. I won't go through everything because I had to do that in an interview a couple weeks ago, and it literally took me 5 minutes.
That's fair. Yeah, give me the abridged version then.
Okay, so you can find me on the Dungeon World Actual Play podcast, Blue Dawn, that I do at Blue Dawn Cast. I am a voice actor, audio producer. I do a whole bunch of Twitch streams with various RPGs that you can find me in. You can find everything that I do on my pinned tweet on Twitter, which you can find me at King Coal Miner. And that will give you a much better detail than I will be able to in a short amount of time.
I know that feel. I know that feel all too well. Believe me. So, this week, like I said, I am tremendously excited because we are once again playing Monster of the Week, and we are playing GM-less two-player Monster of the Week. Mm-hmm. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I've been wanting to try this for a long time. We were gonna do it last time, and I backed out at the last second because I am a coward. And I want that on microphone because I want accountability.
No, it's fine. It'll be fine.
No, it'll be good. I'm really excited. So, a little bit of pull back the curtain and kind of explain how we just had a conversation about how this should work. And I think the way it's going to work is we have not prepped a monster. I've got an idea for a hook that I will throw out there when we start the game.
Okay.
And as we kind of investigate the mystery and kind of prompt each other with questions, we will kind of fill in the details of what we want to see this monster be. And when we finally come face to face with it, we will sidebar, go through the creating a monster checklist, and build the thing that we're fighting. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the idea that we don't fully know it until it's time to face it.
Yeah.
So, why don't you reintroduce us to your character this week?
Okay. My character's name is Alicia West. She is a mid-40s, very, sharp woman. She used to be part of Oh god, I should have written this down. An organization that I believe is called Blackwatch, although that may be an Overwatch thing.
They were the Torchbearers. I just looked up that episode to remember what my character's name was. So you're good.
Part of the Torchbearers organization, who was a monster hunting organization, and then she realized she could get shit done a hell of a lot better than she could with that organization. So she's kind of a solo act now. Or at least she's trying to be.
And I am playing Mary Chanswick. Mary was, at one point in her life, she was a grad student at a prestigious university. That was until some things happened at her school. Things did not go great for poor Mary.
I shot a laser into a giant brain monster.
Yep, that sounds about right. That seems to check out for her. So, ever since there was an encounter with an otherworldly being, there was a monster hunting organization, Men in Black stormed the campus. There was this woman shooting lasers at brain monsters. Mary has had a kind of a difficult go of it. She's kind of been grappling with the fact that the world is much larger and weirder than she could have possibly imagined. So she's doing what the natural response to that is, and she's been moonlighting as a paranormal investigator.
Okay.
Rolling up to places in her kind of beat up Chevy Malibu. And, just poking around, kind of trying to prove to herself that wasn't a one-time incident. She hasn't had the best luck of it so far. So far, it's been a lot of, people claiming that there's a vampire, but it's just, a weird guy that moved neighbor. In next.
Yeah.
And she's kind of, convinced her. She knows deep down, I know in my heart that everything is connected. That there is, some big... There wouldn't have been an organization like the Torchbearers if there wasn't something bigger than this. And I'm going to figure out what it is. And so, let me set the initial scene, because I have an idea for a hook.
Okay.
I think we've moved from the college campus to the suburbs. I think this is summer vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the opening scene of the crime is as follows. Someone has been stabbed. There's police tape. It is an active crime. It is like a crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
But there is also a fumigation tent around the crime scene. And everyone is wearing hazmat suits. For some reason, and I'm going to ask how Alicia figured this out, and I'm going to, while I'm asking you that, I'll try to think of how Mary's figured this out. Out of the knife wound, there is a flood of moss and fungus.
Ooh.
And that's our hook. And so they've put up a fumigation tent. They're we'll say it's in, what do we think the scene is? Describe the scene of the crime to me.
Okay, I am already imagining, one of those, I don't know if you've been to, a party town.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those, bars that is specifically for all of the college kids to, go out and just get fucking smashed.
Yeah, okay.
It's not quite a club because there's not a dance floor, but it's the alleyway of a bar.
Okay.
A very popular bar.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the suburb we're in is legit, directly next to the campus. It's where it's where everybody moves when they graduate.
Yes.
And they're not ready to move home yet.
I was there for a little while.
I was there for longer than I should have been.
Yeah, I think it's probably early morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think they maybe discovered the body and figured they had been out drinking late that night when it had happened.
Yep.
And I think oh god, I think Alicia like, got off of a job, and this was kind of one of the only places, not only places, but, like, one of the better places to go get a drink that early in the morning, and then saw the hazmat and kind of just, like, schmoozed her way in there.
I love that.
And, like, got to see it.
I love that. And I think Mary is on her way. I don't think she's arrived on the scene just yet. Because I think that she was, like, in class. I think she has an early morning, like, med science class, right?
Okay.
And somebody had just, like, somebody, like, just bursts in the door, like, yo, did you hear what happened outside of the watering hole?
Oh, God, good name.
Thank you. And she's just like, oh. All right. Should probably head out. Just I'm gonna grab some water. Get something out of my car.
I gotta go.
Yeah. So what does Alicia do?
I think it is a little bit difficult to, like, stay at the scene just because of all the hazmats. It's very obvious that she doesn't belong there.
Sure.
So I think she snaps a couple quick and discreet pictures of the body, and then, like, goes to get a drink and is like, I'll finish this. Like, there's nothing I can do now, I guess. How much, like, Fae activity do you think there is in this town? I mean, because, like, they fucking love to party. She may go want to find a contact of hers and be like, what do you know about this?
I think that sounds like a great plan. I think there's probably... This is a very old world university. This is, they tout themselves on their history and their, so yeah, I think, like, that kind of place with that kind of history, there were definitely some places where rituals were performed and where pacts were made. So yeah, I think you could find a contact.
Okay. And I think it's this, oh God, like I think instead of going to the watering hole for a drink, she's gonna head to this, like, Pitsy bar. That is called Tinkerbell's Hollow.
That's a very good name.
And, like, there are, like, humans that go there, but it's one of those places where humans only go there if they're, like, if they stumble upon it, it's something you have to not be looking for to find it. Yeah,
I love that. I love that to death. So I think as you're heading to Tinkerbell's Hollow is around when Mary kind of shows up, wearing, like, her lab coat over, like, a rumpled suit. Her business suit. I think she keeps it, like, in her car.
Oh, God.
And she kind of, like, stumbles out of the car and reaches for a fake badge that says, like, CSI, like a fake crime scene investigator badge. Because she's like, I'm wearing a lab coat. This is probably fine. And then she immediately sees the hazmat suits and she's like, this might not work. But I'm here and I'm going to try it. And so she walks up to the first people that she sees and just flashes the badge and is like, I'm a special crime scene investigator. Here to look, you want to give me the scoop?
Ma'am, where did you get that badge?
My superior?
Alright, kid, playtime's over. Pack it up and move on. This ain't a place for children.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? It was worth a try. I'm gonna just, I guess, go get it. Is the bar even still open? Can I go to I'm just, you know what? I'll figure it out. You've got a full plate. And she kind of, like, dejectedly starts just kind of, like, wandering. I think the bar is absolutely closed and she kind of just wanders for a while. And that's when she shows up at the bar at the same time as Alicia.
I think Alicia's, like, just sat down at the bar, and sees Mary walk in and, like, has to do, like, a double and then a triple take of, like, what the fuck is she doing here?
Wide-eyed, mystified. Just, I don't... Where am I? I don't think this is where I want to be. I'm gonna... And, like, the door's already kind of disappeared a little bit behind her.
Yeah, and, like, the bartender kind of, like, waves her over and is like, come on in, have a drink.
Okay. And she kind of, like, saddles up just kind of by herself at the bar. It's like, okay, I'm here now. This is some goddamn magic shit, isn't it?
Well, that's why you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is. That's entirely why I'm here. I'm very important, and I can't even pretend. This is too cool. This is too good.
Well, what can I get you?
And she kind of, like, glances. I think she momentarily, like, she kind of sees Alicia out of the corner of her eye and is just like, whatever she's having. No.
Oh, no.
No.
Listen, kid, I'm not here. You don't see me.
I think I do. I mean, I could be wrong. This could be a number of scenarios playing out right now, but I think I see you.
What are you even doing here? Didn't I tell you to stay in school?
Yeah, and I was in class, but I heard about a case, and...
Nope, it's not a case for you. It's a case for me. It's not a case for you.
But that's... I mean, I don't see why it can't be both.
Listen, kid, this shit's dangerous. You shouldn't even be in this bar. Don't drink anything they give you. Are you even 21?
I'm 23. I am a grad student. I have been in school for 7 years.
That's, seriously?
It takes a lot to be a doctor.
I guess that's fair.
But you're saying that this is a real one then?
I did not say that.
But you said it's dangerous. And you said it's a case for you.
Listen, I don't know anything yet. I just managed to get some pictures and then I wound up here. I don't know if it's a case or if it's just some weird bullshit, but, like, actually, do you want to see what pictures I have?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe
no, I don't think so. No, I do. I do want to see the pictures.
She kind of just cocks an eyebrow. And then takes out her phone and slides it across the table. Or the bar.
Mm-hmm. I think she just starts, like, flipping through the photos. And it's just like, oh God. Oh no, this is... Oh no, this is, like, real.
Do dead bodies tend to grow moss or foliage from stab wounds? 'Cause
I can tell you as a soon to be medical doctor. No.
All right. Well then, I guess I have a case. And she downs the rest of her drink. I think it's some like Pixie special. I think it's like oh god, it's like a honeysuckle whiskey or something like that. And it comes in like a honeysuckle shaped glass flower thing. And she downs the rest of it.
And I think once you finish the drink, the glass withers away.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I love that. And she stands up from the bar and is like, "All right, I'm heading out." Just without looking to see if Mary follows, walks out.
I think she doesn't at first. She's kind of like buried in the phone and then sees you leaving and is like, "Oh, did you want your phone back?" "Oh, okay. No, I'm following. I'm following. I'm following." Oh my god, I'm following. Oh my god, I'm following.
Can you be chill? Otherwise, this is gonna get weird.
Okay, no, you're right. Sorry. Professional. We're on a job now. This is a job. Okay, no, this is a job. We're cool.
Speaking
We're cool. I'm
what's
cool.
What's up with the suit? I thought you were in class.
Yeah, this is, my, business suit for jobs. I left class to go to the job. It's hard. It's hard balancing work and school is the thing.
Yeah, which is again why I told you to stay in school.
And I'm in school. I'm just trying to earn a little extra money and help my community by performing a service after hours or during hours sometimes if the system permits it. I have not missed a single day of class until today. I think I'll be all right.
All right, whatever you say. Oh, I think the person Alicia was looking for at the bar wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not quite sure what she would try and do next.
I think Mary is like still burying herself in the photos and is kind of just like zooming in, like doing the zoom and enhance thing on the wounds and like.
It's not how that works.
Studying it's not how that works at all, but it's fine.
I think Alicia goes, "All right, kid, if you want to be on this case so much, what do we do next?"
And she like is poring over the photos as blurry and pixelated as they are, and she's just trying to like figure out what if it was a knife, if it came from inside, outside, investigating the mystery through like carefully studying these crime scene photos.
Should we do a roll that is specifically called Investigate a Mystery?
I think we should. I'm gonna roll plus sharp. My sharp is +2. Yeah, I'm gonna roll plus sharp. That's a 5. That is a 7. Haha.
Nice.
So I can ask one question. I'm gonna ask you. What happened here?
Someone got stabbed? No. I mean, duh. But I think this person wasn't suspecting or didn't know who killed them.
Okay, so it was like probably a stabbing from behind situation.
Yeah, I think it's like literally in their back. And I think just the way they I don't think it was a murder to like I just get something out of it because the body's not missing anything. They still have their wallet, they still have all their money, all their credit cards, things like that. But I don't think it was a murder to accomplish anything. I think it was just a murder.
Okay, and I think adding to that, I imagine then that the body doesn't look like it, like the person doesn't fall in a way that suggests they were running or that there was a struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like that a lot. And I think I kind of relay that I'm like, even if they shouldn't be laying like that. This wasn't... They didn't know they were being followed, and they didn't know that they were being attacked. This happened quick. It happened... it didn't happen violently, is the thing. It's a clean cut.
moss and fungus aside. So I think whatever you or we or you or whatever is looking for is quiet, quick, easily evaded. Is it dumb to say invisible? Because that might be an option. I don't think it's definitive, but it's on the table.
I would say more stealthy than invisible. There are very few things that are actually invisible.
Okay, but it's an option though. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it could be. Oh God, okay. So you're a scientist of some sort.
Of some sort.
Isn't there something in at least scientific data that it has to be replicable? As in, we could repeat an experience and get the same results? Not that I'm saying I want you stabbed, but maybe we should do an experiment.
I like where your head's at. I think that seems to be the easiest way to replicate the problem, so to speak.
So, not now.
Sure.
But later. You want to get a drink?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. Go back to class.
Alright, yeah. Oh, crap, what time? Oh, fuck, I really do have to get back to class. Okay, thank you. This has been great. I'm gonna,
Give me my phone back.
Oh, right, yes, phone. Okay, cool. I gotta...
And...
Do you need a ride somewhere? I have my car. It's right around the corner. They didn't tow it. I hope not, at least.
Nah, I got my own, but, and she, I think she pulls out, a business card, and hands it to you. And it's, in a very nice scripted font, Alicia West Monster Hunter.
And she just holds it for a while, and it's like, oh... Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll see you tonight.
Cool.
And
she turns and walks away.
And, do we cut to that night, or does Alicia have another plan?
Yeah, no, I think, Alicia, maybe it's, later... a little bit earlier than when they're supposed to meet up, but we just see Alicia, casing out the area outside of a couple different bars to, and, asking around to see if there's been any sort of, activity, amongst the Fae, but nothing I don't think we really need to have an in-depth scene for.
Cool. I'll give you, make an investigate mystery roll for that.
Okay, cool. Where are my dice? Here are my dice. Investigative mystery is sharp, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That is a 10.
Alright, on a 10 plus, you can hold 2.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to ask you, what is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here? You hit up the bars around campus, and you know the bars to hit up that to get your kind of contacts. Mm-hmm. If not Fae, at least Fae-touched. People who are adjacent to it, people who might know, people in the know. Everyone is swearing up and down that they don't know anything. And that there has been no sort of mundane activity, that the court has been really quiet. And, it is too close to an equinox. It is too close to a time when the court should be especially active and especially present. Mm-hmm. For that to be at all true.
Yeah. Okay.
So something big is going down, and everyone is trying to act like it's not.
Mm-hmm. I think then, I am going to answer.
Okay.
In some way or another, what sort of creature it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that isn't from this area. This is suburbia, but it's not any sort of monster that Alicia knows is native to this land. I think she has like a compendium,
Sure.
at least based on like areas of the US, and there's nothing in that compendium that describes anything of what is going on. So it's a sort of creature that was not imported, but has definitely migrated from probably like further out in no man's land.
I like that a lot. I think I'm also going to push for Mary to make an investigate mystery, as she is. She went to class. She had an exam. She had a test that she had to like take. She breezes through it, like she tears through it at double speed, and just hits the library and just goes through every book on fairies, on like fairy myth, half a dozen novels, half a dozen books of poetry, and just like throws herself hard into crunch mode trying to find any information she can. And that is a 13.
Nice. So that means you may ask any question you want about the mystery, not just the ones listed.
So, I am going to ask you, what is the major conflict running through the fairy courts at the moment?
I think one of the like leaders of the Fae court has been usurped. And so there is someone new in place who wants to initiate changes that, because the Fae are very like stuck in tradition.
Right.
We've done this for 1,000 years, we're going to do it for 1,000 more, and now change is happening, and they are trying to quell any rumors, any sense of like, not corruption, any sense of disturbance within the court, which is why things are silent. As far as how you figured that out, I'm not quite sure.
I think I'm gonna pull a page from the 1998 classic Men in Black. And say that it was not in any of the not in any of the research that I did, but it was in the Weekly World News that I pulled.
Oh God!
On a lark.
Good.
And I'm just like flipping through it, and I see like there's one story kind of in the back that is like Fae Court and Chaos, and I'm just like, did that say fake? Oh no. Okay, sure,
cat,
sure,
cat,
you're in on it. Why aren't you in on it? Fine.
Sorry, my cat is tugging at wires she should not be. But no, I like that.
And I think my other question is, I think I'm also going to answer what sort of creature is it, and say that it is old and it is not from here, and that it is. I think there's an old English poem that is about like the it describes like the fairy that comes to set right the scales or something.
Ooh, I like it.
And so it was like the poem, you know, there's a whole contextual bit about how it was written at a time of political upheaval, and so this is sort of a metaphor for that kind of swing back, that sort of pushback against a revolutionary ideal. And it's this fairy that when tradition is broken and when change is inevitable, this is sort of the final lash out against it.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. And so I think we cut to that night at the bar. I think the watering hole has reopened, because I don't think they can stay closed for more than a night.
No, of course not.
The tent is still there.
And like that alleyway is blocked off with tape, and there's probably like an officer, at least keeping an eye on it to make sure no drunk college students try and get in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mary shows up first.
Yeah, I think so. I think that she kind of shows up and she is very awkward, right? Like everyone's dancing and she's just perfectly still. Probably like mumbling to herself, like doing the gif with the math in front of the face. It's just that face, like, huh? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I'm actually gonna roll a move here as well.
Okay.
Because I have one of my flake moves is connect the dots.
Okay.
That when I think I'm gonna wait to roll connect the dots when I look for the wider patterns that current events might be a part of.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna wait on that, or I might not roll it. We'll play it by ear.
All right. I think Alicia shows up maybe about 10 minutes after they had agreed they were going to. She's wearing this almost dark brown suit. I think her blonde hair is up in like a high ponytail. And almost without announcing herself, she slides into the bar seat next to Mary.
And Mary is wearing the same rumpled black suit. No lab coat this time, though. The lab coat is back in the car. Hey, you're here. Okay, cool, awesome. So, do we just get to work then?
Well, I am not quite sure when this monster had attacked the civilian, but it's probably safe to say that it happens much, much later. There's no one around to notice it. So I think we're gonna have to wait till last call.
Okay.
If you are open to hang out that long.
Yeah, I can hang out till whenever. I'm an adult, right? Yeah, I can hang out. And she kind of checks her watch and kind of like runs some numbers in her head, and it's like, yeah, no, this is work. This is I am. That paper isn't due until Thursday, so that's 4. It's Tuesday. It's what day is it?
It's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I can get an extension. It's fine.
Are you sure you're okay to do this?
Yes, Yes, this is... And for the first moment, she kind of drops that whole... She stops being flustered for a moment as she closes her eyes, and it's just like, yes, this is really important to me that I do this. The paper...
Why?
Because you probably don't get this because, like, your life is cool and full of monsters and you have business cards, but, like, what happened changed everything. I can't go back. I've tried. I tried for a long time. But I also can't go... I can't stay where I am. It can't have been a one-time thing. I can't... If that thing, whatever it was... If I didn't just make that up, if that wasn't just a stress dream, then I need to know what else is out there, and I need to see this with my own 2 eyes. And so I'm here now. And I can write a paper in a day. It doesn't take me that long. I'm pretty good at school. But I just need to experience, I need to know that what we went through wasn't a fluke. That sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I think Alicia orders a drink from the bar. Something like a beer. And is silent for a very long time. and then goes, "Do you want to know how I joined the Torchbearers?"
Yes, I mean, yes, sure.
I was 15, and my parents and I went out to a cabin in the middle of the woods. And what they could only describe as Bigfoot tore my parents in two right in front of my eyes. And I was like you. I tried to go back to school. I tried to have friends. I tried to grieve. And it consumed me. And I joined the Torchbearers thinking my life would get better after I did, and it didn't. Kid, this shit isn't easy. My life isn't cool. And she, throws, she, tosses back, oh god, she doesn't chug a beer, that's so disgusting. I think she, picks at the label and slowly, peels it off. And goes, "I don't want you to give up what you have to live a life of danger. It is stressful and it is lonely."
I don't want to give up what I have, is the thing. There's a reason. Okay, there's two reasons, but there's one reason that I'm not embarrassed about that I stayed in school. And that's that I really like science and learning and being in school, and I want to be a doctor and do doctor things, and
you're not going to be able to do both, kid.
I know, and I part of me says when this case is over and when we bust this monster and when we save the day, that's it, and that I've answered the thing, and that I can go back and leave it all behind. And there's another part of me that says that's never going to happen, but a part of me saying that is better than no part, right?
I don't know. I think that's up for you to decide.
Yeah, I think it is.
Do you want a drink? Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah. They, Blue Fishbowl, the Blue Fishbowl Gin and Tonics, party bowl would be fantastic.
You know, those things are, really big, right? When they say a fishbowl, they mean it's it comes in a fishbowl.
Yeah, no, I get the fishbowl.
Okay, alright. Okay. Sure. She orders Mary a fishbowl.
She is a grad student at the end of the day. She is a 22-year-old.
I think it comes with, a little plastic fish floating in it.
Yep, for sure. And Mary's like, "You don't want to eat the fish, believe me, I've tried."
Oh. Is it even edible?
No, it's not, as I learned. Listen, undergrad was rough.
And Alicia just laughs. I think, do we fast forward?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we fast forward to, I think that they kind of laugh and it kind of fades out, and I think we cut to, the experiment happening.
Yeah. I think we see a seemingly drunken Mary walking down the alleyway. and from some like unknown place we see Alicia sitting with her like assault rifle in hand. She's probably up on like a fire escape somewhere, just waiting.
And Mary is playing it up a little bit. She took the fishbowl surprisingly well.
Alicia was impressed.
And so she's like playing it up, but she's playing it up like very hard. I think that we see her stumbling very drunk, and then she kind of stops and like glances like with perfect awareness back to where Alicia is, and like gives like the subtlest of nod and continues to like comically Charlie Chaplin stumble her way through this alleyway.
Do you think it shows up?
I think it kinda, I think, why don't, yes, but why don't beforehand, because you're watching, I don't think Mary gets the opportunity to, like, study it, but why don't you either give me an investigate mystery or read a bad situation?
I'm gonna read a bad situation makes more sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, and that's plus sharp. That is a 6 and a 2 plus a 2, so I got a 10.
A 10? Hold 3.
Means I get to hold 3. What's the best way to protect Mary?
The best way to protect Mary is, so, what we see is, from a dumpster, mold starts to, like, run along the outside.
Ooh.
Like, the mold itself, or the moss and the fungus and the mold kind of, like, flows from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to, like, creep. And it starts to, like, bounce and move about in a very kind of, like... And it just kind of creates this trail, almost like a slug. And it's moving, and it's kind of dancing, and there's periodically, like... a fairy shape that kind of like hops out of one spot of moss and into another spot.
Okay.
So, with all that in mind, the best way to protect Mary is probably, you've got your rifle, is probably aiming it at, like, you know, moss and stuff is flammable, and, like, if you light it up, it'll light up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna save that one for last. I think these are all kind of, I already kind of know the answers to these. But I think, I'm going to ask, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Are there any dangers? If you have an answer, go ahead. I think I might also have an answer.
I do, but let me know if you don't like it. I think we can hear, like, laughter and footsteps, in that there are people, like civilians, still outside this late at night.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's fantastic.
And so just because Mary is currently the target, it doesn't mean she is the only person who is vulnerable.
Yep. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And then I think... I guess what's our best way out?
The best way out, the best way out is back in. And I think I'm gonna pull on the detail that, like, I'm gonna pull on the detail that I was going to use for the previous question, but that I think, and that is that, like, you noticed, like, maybe you noticed it, but you didn't fully piece it together until this moment that, like, some of that music that was playing in the bar and some of those people dancing just had a certain ethereal quality that, like, this bar is more magical than it lets on,
Oh.
And so, like, you don't think that this thing... You get the vibe that it attacked where it attacked because it was outside of sort of, like, common ground, right? Like, it struck...
Yeah.
It struck where it saw a vulnerability. And so the best way out would probably be to surround yourself with that sort of magical presence.
Okay, I like that. I think we see the moss beginning to go closer and closer to Mary. And Alicia, like, straightens up, puts her, like, I don't even know how assault rifles work. She, like, not cocks the gun, but she makes sure it's loaded.
And I think the moment before you shoot, I'm gonna have Mary act under pressure, because I think she sees the people.
Yeah.
I think she kind of, like, stumbles, sees there's people, and immediately drops the act and, like, loses her cool and is like, you have to get out of here, like, right now. You have to go, and, like, kind of throws a wrench in the situation a little bit. Act under pressure. Roll plus cool. I don't think my cool is super high. This will be exciting.
I would not think so either.
Nope, my cool is not great. That's a 6.
Ooh.
Finally,
Good.
move to mark an experience.
Okay. I think Mary drops her facade, and, like, in stepping out to try and, like, warn these people, I think we see the moss, like, wrap around her foot. And she, like, stumbles backwards into the darkened alleyway.
That's very good.
And then Alicia, seeing that, realizes she can't shoot where she was planning because now there's a Mary in the way. And is going to, I think, probably, seeing that Mary has made contact, is done a jump from her hiding spot, and is going to actually try and pull Mary from the moss before she lights it up.
All right.
So I am also going to act under pressure with a cool. That is what is my cool? It's a +1, so that's an 11.
Beautiful.
So I think in a very swift moment, she, like, leaps from the fire escape and, like, slides down the ladder, and in a very short motion, like, jerks Mary from the moss's grip.
And I think Mary, like, spins on her heel. In one fluid like, you pull her, she kind of stumbles a little bit, clambers to her feet, and then in, like, one smooth move, reaches into the inside pocket of her coat, pulls out her holdout pistol, and just starts opening fire on the moss.
Oh, God. All right, roll to kick some ass.
All right. That's an 8. Not bad.
Let's see.
On a success, I and whatever we're fighting inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm, I don't get to choose an extra effect. All right.
What is your harm?
My harm is 2. So it's 2 pistol on the holdout. So I think this is when we take our sidebar and actually make this monster.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's pull up the Keeper's Moves Creating Threats checklist.
All right.
So, what do we think this monster type is?
I've never actually looked at this before. Creating threats. I guess Devour.
I was thinking Devour, or maybe maybe torturer? Or executioner might also make sense.
Okay. Since we are in a sidebar, I am going to admit that I would love to have a vor monster, but I am also open to suggestions. I do like torture, just because I feel like if as opposed to executioner, just because I feel like if this is sentient moss, I don't know if it has the capacity to judge the oh no. What if the one it killed was, oh god, what if the one it killed was, one of the Fae of the Court?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Although, why would it then attack Mary is my...
I think Devourer, you know what? Yeah, I think once it attacks Mary, I think Devourer makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if it's described as just being, like, a natural reaction to, like, fairy change. I think it just being... I think that...
Although Mary has had some Fae drink, it may have been easy to confuse. And since we are outside a bar that is within fairy realm...
And there is that magic in the air.
And there is that magic in the air, it may have thought Mary was someone she wasn't.
So then I think perhaps let me pitch two things then.
Okay.
Because I think that also gives it a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if it is a torturer with a weakness that it can be, like, confused or befuddled.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not especially intelligent and can be, like, outwitted.
Mm-hmm.
That might explain why it would attack Mary.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you like that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, what supernatural abilities does it have? Do we think that it is just the moss, or does it have another form that it can switch into?
I think it has another form because of the way you described the Fae shapes jumping in and out of it, and also it needs to be able to stab, and moss isn't very hard.
Yeah.
So I think it has a more, like, solidified form.
Okay. So then maybe the moss generation is its special power.
Yeah, maybe it's like what are they called? Maybe it's like a type of dryad.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I could definitely see that. And that would also give it a reason why it would be, like, out of town or from not this area, if it's, like, from, like, the proper from the proper wilds.
Right.
Yeah, I really like that.
Okay.
So, we've got its powers, we've got its weakness that it is not... it can be outwitted.
And also set on fire.
Also, theoretically, yeah, also set on fire, because it's plant matter. It's moss.
Do you want me to, as far as attacks for harm, do you want me to roll a d5?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Alright, one sec.
And I think its range is hand.
Okay.
Because I think it does have to grab you.
I got a 3 on that. Okay. So 3 damage.
3 harm, hand, or close.
Yeah. I don't think it would have that much armor because it is... Oh, what if in its moss form it has 1 armor, but in its dryad it has 2?
Yeah, I think that makes sense because it's got magic. It's using its magical power to create this moss and to, like, really, like, move sort of comfortably.
Yeah.
Or to even... Maybe the moss is how it, like, interacts with things on the material space. As opposed to, like, purely kind of ethereal Fae essence.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Yeah. And then, the last thing I want to cover is... I think we're probably, if it's already killed a notable Fae, we're probably in, like, shadows or dusk. Let's just define what midnight is for this. What's the worst, what happens if we fail to stop this thing? Obviously, it keeps killing.
Well, its moss spreads. Every time it, like, kills someone, it leaves moss behind. So it would... Maybe it's planting.
Oh, that's horrifying. Oh, that's some next level shit.
It's like... It's young and it, like, gestates within oh god, what if we see, like, we get, like, a quick flash of, they're in a mortuary? Is that where we had, yeah, and we see, like, the body just kind of explode outward and a dryad pushes itself out from the wound, of the dead body.
Oh,
and, like,
that's fucking awful and I love it. Yes. Yep, that's exactly what happens. And, like, the dryad that bursts forth is, like, full human size and is just beautiful and resplendent and then is just gone and like...
terrifying.
And it's just mist and fireflies.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
Yep. Oh, that's badass. That's good stuff. I love this. All right. So we've made our monster. And, yeah, so I take... What did we say? 3 harm?
Yes.
I take 3 harm, and it takes 3 harm. It takes 2 harm, because it has 1 armor at the moment.
Yes. Oh, we didn't give it, health points.
Oh, yes, we did not.
It's 8 to 12. I'm gonna roll another d5, and we'll start from 8 and go up.
Let's roll, why don't I roll 2d6, and we'll just go with that.
That'll work.
Because that'll give us an average of 7. We'll say 8. I got a 5, so we'll go with a comfortable 8.
Okay. That works for me.
8, and then we have to trigger one of its 2 weaknesses. Either a decent amount of fire or some degree of like outsmarting it.
Right.
All right.
Oh. Sorry, I just thought of a thing, but I'm not gonna reveal that yet.
Okay.
I think for your harm, we see the spot where it wrapped around your ankle begin to grow.
Oh.
And Mary can feel, like, thorns digging into her leg.
Yep. It's like a bear trap, like, clenching down. And she's like, ow, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
I don't actually have a knife. I have a baseball bat, but I don't think that helps. I think, you already shot it a bunch. And I think that means it has, that has probably drawn some attention, especially since there were people outside.
Yeah, I think cops are descending on the scene.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I think I'm going to pull Mary back into the bar.
Alright.
And, like, try and get lost in that crowd.
Yeah, I think that she's, like, it's probably pretty easy because she's, like, scrambling at her ankle and she's, like, rummaging through her various, like, suit pockets that she's cut open until she finally, like, pulls out a butterfly knife and is, like, scrambling it to try and get it just right. Oh, you know, it's not even it says it's a butterfly or holding knife. It's definitely, like, just a scalpel, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And she's just, like, carving this thing, just sawing it off of her ankle.
And I think even, I think Alicia has, like, pulled them into the bathroom of the bar, and is, like, pulling this moss off as Mary cuts it and, like, tossing it into the toilet.
Yep.
And as it finally comes loose, she's gonna, I think she's just gonna flush it. No, God, I just realized that's gonna go into water, although you can drown a plant, so
I think the second it hits water, it just starts to, like, consume all of that water.
Oh, shit.
And it's not the same as it is when it was in the body, but now it's just, like, moss is just, like, expanding, inflating, almost.
Fuck.
Okay, what do we do here? You're the expert.
Listen, I don't know what this thing is.
Okay, hold on. Give me, okay. This is a test, and I'm gonna ace my exam. I did my research. I answered the questions. I just have to put the facts together. And she closes her eyes, and she breathes in and out, and that awkwardness drops away, and she starts, like, thinking back over everything she read. The Weekly World News, the poems, the Wikipedia articles, and I am going to attempt to connect the dots.
Okay.
It says to do this at the beginning of the mystery, but I think this is the right moment to do it.
Oops, yeah.
That is a 10.
Nice.
I like to ask 3. What does the monster want from us?
It's believing that we are Fae wants to destroy.
Okay. When and where will the next critical event occur?
You said the equinox is soon, right?
Yeah, it's like right around the corner.
There's probably going to be a big event on that day.
And how does this connect to the bigger picture?
The bigger picture being...
the fake... What's happening in the fake court? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the creatures it has been targeting is the Fae that were part of the coup.
Mm-hmm.
And so it thinks in killing these Fae creatures that it is quelling the rebellion.
And she stops, and she breathes, and she just smiles wide and says, "We just need to convince..." This is going to sound ridiculous, especially because there's moss inflating in a toilet that's going to probably eat us and kill us, but we just need to talk to this thing.
What?
We just need to tell it it's lost. Okay, there's a lot to explain. Do you have a lighter?
I don't smoke.
Okay.
It's a bar. There are matches. Wait here. And she's gonna run out and like try and dive behind the bar. I think it's emptying out because people heard the shots.
Yep.
And so there's this mass panic to leave, and she's gonna dive behind the bar and look for like the bowl of matches they normally keep.
And yeah, you find it pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. And then she's going to run back, pushing against the panicking crowd, and shove herself into the bathroom, and place the matchbook in Mary's hands and say, "Here you go, kid."
So, okay. Follow me on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is natural. Or as natural as it can get. And she lights the matches and just wings it at it. And I'm going to roll to kick ass, I think.
Okay.
And if you would like to help out, I think you can help out on this.
Yes, I will.
Because I got an 8.
And is that just rolling plus bond? How does
plus cool.
Plus cool. Okay. You can tell I play a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games. That is a 10. So
that gives +1, which puts me to a 9. I'll say it's because it's just the two of us that puts it up to 10. That feels it, because it feels like there would be no way to bump it more than +1 with 2 people. So I think that's a justifiable hack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I think it lights up. It probably like just about gets us, and then just poof. I don't think it actually lights on fire.
Yeah.
I think it just bursts. It's like we saw in the mortuary, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just mist and fireflies.
Exactly. And it kind of like, I think the fireflies like swarm the bathroom, and kind of light it up almost like a starry night sky in the dim, gritty bar bathroom, and the mist kind of like settles onto the toilet and the floor. And then, I think Alicia goes, "Kid, Mary, you did it."
Lucky guess, I guess.
Ain't nothing lucky about it. You've got a head for this, as much as I hate to admit it.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, well, don't say I never did anything nice for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you got me here. I didn't just say that out loud, did I?
Yeah. Should we go? I feel
we should probably go. We should definitely go.
And we go.
Yeah.
I think we slip out through the rest of the crowd.
And I think Mary starts grilling you, like, okay, what do you know about Fey magic?
Not as much as I'd like. But I know some people who could probably inform us. I know that there's some big bullshit event coming up that they normally do.
Yeah, that makes sense. This thing, I should have explained this earlier. What was I doing? Why did I? Oh my god.
No, it was cool in the moment. It's okay.
So this thing, the Fey Court is in chaos. That sounded like a headline. I read it in a paper. It's
the National Enquirer?
Weekly World News.
Ah, yeah. No, they're also a good one.
This thing is basically a counter-revolutionary. It attacks when there's change, because the Fae hate change, and I think we just have to kind of magically finish the ritual, make the change tradition, and this thing stops.
That's gonna be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
We have to convince a bunch of Fae creatures that change is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy. Here, follow me. He should be here tonight. Don't think about where we're going, just follow me and we'll find it.
Just get lost in the journey, got it.
Exactly. And I think it takes a little while, but I think they do make it back to Tinkerbell's Hollow. And they walk in, and the door kind of seals behind them. And Alicia sees in the far corner... Why am I adding a third NPC when there's only two of us? I think Alicia sees in the far corner is a kind of gruff-looking, tired, I think it's very difficult to tell what type of Fae it is. Mm-hmm. He is. I think it's humanoid, but there's something a little off. Their skin is a little bit too smooth. The hair is just a little bit too shiny. They seem perfect, but that perfect makes them look imperfect.
Almost uncanny valley.
Yes, exactly.
Like if somebody were to intentionally design something in the uncanny valley.
Yes, yeah.
Like if someone were a monster.
You did it.
Yeah, for sure. And Mary is just kind of sitting there. A honeysuckle whiskey kind of gets slid over, and she's like, "Talk to your people, I guess. This is you."
Yeah, I will. Wait here. He's not a big fan of strangers.
Sure, no, not a problem.
And she walks over and, again, without announcing herself, sits down at the table and just goes, "Xavier, good to see you again."
"Alicia West, what a pleasure it is to be in your acquaintance again. That you may not have known because of my rhythmic voice, was sarcasm.
No, I think I've kind of picked up your sarcasm by now. You do use it an awful lot.
I certainly do.
She just jumped up on the back of my chair and, like, stuck her butt in my face.
That's cat for you.
Yeah, you use it quite an awful lot, but I won't take up much of your time.
I am waiting for you to state why you are here at my table.
Well, first, I brought you a drink, and she slides over, like, a Moonwater vodka, which is literally just vodka that's been, like, set out in during a full moon.
You know exactly how to charm me.
I hear there's some drama going on in the Fae courts.
There is always drama in the Fae court.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, Alicia West. Change does not come naturally for the Fae, but those of us who follow the children of the summer sun feel it is time for rejuvenation. The winter court resists, but the winter court does as the winter court does. Come the equinox, we have agreed on a truce. Papers will be filed. Pacts will be sealed. What else is new?
What else is new is that the winter's resistance is killing the mortal realm. We've had a few murders as of late, and it's because of the, did we come up with a name for the dryad?
We did not. The Knife of the Marsh.
The knife, ooh, I like that, okay. There's been some murders as of late, and it has to do with the Knife of the Marsh has made its way into town.
Of the Marsh. Alicia West, you know not what of you speak.
Care to clue me in?
If the Knife of the Marsh was... The Knife of the Marsh was a doomsday weapon, a last resort meant to be deployed when all was lost. If you are telling me that the winter resistance deployed the Knife of the Marsh, well, this is a disaster.
How do we stop it?
That is quite an ask, Alicia West. That is asking Faye to move ahead of schedule. Because once the papers are signed, it will accept tradition.
Is there any way we could meet with the head of the Winter Court and the your new, I suppose, king and queen?
This is asking quite a bit of me. I can pull something together. Roll me manipulate someone.
Yeah. Should I do it as a normal person or another hunter?
Do it as a hunter.
Okay.
You've got ties to the Fae. Like, they know you.
Yeah. Okay, and that's a charm. That is a... Oh, that's another 10.
Oh, I see what you're asking. I misunderstood. This will be for a normal person. So they'll do it for the reason you gave them. If it means stopping the Knife of the Marsh... And he raises his hands, and every table in the bar is full of dignitaries and finely dressed nobles and royals.
Ah, Jesus Christ!
Alicia? Is this normal? Are we good?
Nothing's normal with the Fae, but you'll be okay. Just keep calm.
Okay. This drink is good.
Haven't you had enough tonight?
I'm young. You're only young once.
YOLO. Okay. Alicia's gonna like turn in her chair and look to see where the head of courts are sitting.
I think there's like a table that is raised on two twirling vines. And there's like paper, there's, a scroll that is like rolling off of it and is like miles long, piling up underneath it. And they're just like signing signatures and they're like, we shall finish this in, a year or two.
We may need things to be sped up a little. I
think as you're talking, moss is starting to creep into all of the gaps of Tinkerbell's Hollow.
Kings, queens, dignitaries, your bullshit is killing the mortal realm. Please set aside your traditions for once in your life and act instead of think. You need to sign and make up before what you do affects even the Fey realm. I know I am not... Oh, fuck, hold on. I'm not good with big speeches. And I think Alicia isn't either. So I think as she, like, trails off to think of what to say next, she kind of, like, flails and kind of gives a glance toward Mary.
I think Mary steps up and uses my other flake move. See? It all fits together. I roll sharp instead of charm when I manipulate someone, and okay. I step up and say, listen, children of the summer corn, whatever you called yourselves, listen.
Court. Children of the summer corn. I just
listen.
Sorry, keep going.
And she points at the winter court, and they're all wearing like white, silver. You can tell which is the summer court and which is the winter court. They have screwed you over. They have summoned a moss that is going to devour the mortal realm by the time you take it over. Winter court, they are counting on you to kill the mortal realm so that the Fae turn on you. You're both screwing each other. If you don't sign that paperwork, guess what? Nobody gets anything because the mortal realm is more or less all you've got going for you. You can sit here in Tinkerbell's Hollow. Is this bar seriously called Tinkerbell's Hollow?
I think they were making fun of Disney.
Okay. You can sit here in Tinkerbell's Hollow for all you want, but if you ever want to go outside of this place and not experience, I don't know, if you don't like mushrooms, I'd sign that paperwork. I'd do my goddamn job. And I'm going to roll manipulate.
All right.
That's 3.
Oh, God.
That's a 5 total.
Who is this mortal and who let her in the bar?
So that didn't work.
We see the bartender from behind the bar trying to poke her head up and go, sorry, boss, I'll get her out. And I think... Oh, God. I think... What if Alicia just lights the bar on fire?
Oh, damn. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I think she sighs and, like, splashes some of the vodka that she had brought Xander, and, like, splashes it across the table and lights a matchbook and is like, since you fuckers aren't going to help, I'm gonna have to take some drastic measures. And she, like, tosses it on the table and it, like, all but explodes in flame.
And I think, I think the bar burns, and I think, like, the moss, mist and fireflies fill the bar, and everyone is scrambling. I think the fires reach towards the paperwork, and that'll just set them back, and that'll just make things even worse. But Alicia acts under pressure, and I'm going to mark a luck, which allows me to change a roll to a 12.
Oh,
and say,
cool.
and say Mary just, like, dives at it, grabs it, and just, like, rolls through. And, like, rolls through and is just like, fill this out. You don't have a lot of time because you're gonna burn to death.
And I think we can actually, as the fire reaches the moss, we can hear it start to scream. Mm-hmm. As it turns to mist and fireflies, it screams around us, and like the glasses on the bars shake. And the windows begin to rattle and crack and break from just the like high pitched of it all. And Alicia, like, strides over through the fire and the flame and shoves a quilled pen into their hands and goes, "You heard her. Sign the damn paperwork."
And I think in an instant, you know, they kind of, both courts just look you in the eye, and they look Mary at the other side of the bar, and they just say, "Bold move, making enemies of the fake court."
"I've been killing your kind for years. I've never been a friend."
"Yes, but you've never had our full gaze upon you. Good day." And they snap their fingers, and we are back outside of the watering hole. All the moss is just disappeared. But there's, like, a hazy green mist and, like, abundance of fireflies throughout the entire, like, suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
And dawn breaks.
Well.
Yeah. He took the word out of my mouth.
We should probably go.
Yeah. Cops are... Yep, there they are. We should get out of here. Is your car nearby, or else, because you can hop in mine?
I'll go with you.
Great. And we drive off, and, like, she pulls up to your car, which I imagine is, like, a safe distance away.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, unlocks the door and just says, "All right, so that was... I'm not going to say fun, because it was a nightmare, but it was...
Yeah.
kind of fun."
Yeah. I thank you for your help. I don't think I could have done it without you.
Thank you for your help. And for everything.
I know I've got another case a couple states over, so I don't think I'll be back in the area for much longer. But if I need your help again, I'll give you a call.
It's always good to have a medical expert on your Rolodex, right?
Exactly. And, iron your suit. People take you much more seriously.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of going for, like, a PI aesthetic, but, like, yeah, I can see where that would... You know what? I'm just gonna take your advice. Alright. I guess until I see you again.
Goodbye, Mary. And she steps out of the car and shuts the door behind her and unlocks hers and gets in, and
they drive their separate ways, and that's game.
And that's game.
That was great. That was awesome. I love that. That was so good.
Oh, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Oh, Cole, thanks so much for coming back on Party of One. That was great.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, real quick, where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me on Twitter at King Coal Miner. You can find the Blue Dawn Actual Play podcast that I do at Blue Dawn Cast on Twitter and any place you can find podcasts. I am a voice actor and audio producer. If you want to, you can commission me to edit your podcast. Just hit me up on Twitter, give me a DM, whatever. And you can find me in a bunch of projects like Unplaced, Lavender Ladies. You can find me on Project Ozma and Saffron and Perry, as well as on Twitch at Fable Tales and Soul Bear RPG. And that is all I'm gonna pitch for now.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was awesome. And I am going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take it, future me.
Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Cole for coming onto the show. That game was everything I'd hoped it would be and more. Be sure to check the show notes for more information about Monster of the Week, and be sure to head over to twitter.com/KingColeMiner. Check out all of the projects Cole is working on because they're all great, and Cole kicks ass, and you should follow them on Twitter and support their work because they're great. Speaking of great Twitters, you should follow Party of One on Twitter at PartyOfOnePod, then slide over to Facebook and like the show at facebook.com/PartyOfOnePodcast, then head over to bit.ly/PartyOfOneDiscord, join the Discord community, chat with us about role-playing games, professional wrestling, the show, all of the stuff that people talk about on a day-to-day basis. And speaking of podcasts that are great, you should also listen to All My Fantasy Children, because it's very, very good. All My Fantasy Children is a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast powered by you. Every week, my best friend Aaron Catano-Saez and I take a listener prompt and spin it into a fantasy story, populating a shared universe one character at a time. New episodes drop every Friday at allmyfantasychildren.com. If you enjoyed this show, consider leaving us a nice iTunes review, a social media shoutout, or a word-of-mouth recommendation. Any of those things help new listeners find the show, which helps us do bigger, better, and cooler things. You can also consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/PartyOfOnePodcast. Patreon backers get access to mini podcasts, bonus materials, and interviews. Patreon dollars help pay for equipment fees, hosting costs, convention appearances, live shows, like the one that we're having at Redcap's Corners, June 24th, 7 p.m. That's 3850 Lancaster Avenue in West Philadelphia. All that kind of stuff is supported directly by the Patreon, and it is a tremendous way to show your support for the show and help it grow. On a more specific note, if you're curious about how we ran Monster of the Week as a 2-player GM-less game, I'll be dropping some Duet Designers notes on that later in the week. Watch out for that. Party of One is produced and edited, as always, by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Megaran featuring the D&D Sluggers. If you're interested in coming onto the show, whether you are a podcaster, game designer, professional wrestler, comedian, actor, writer, musician, kaiju, financial guru, or you just like playing a good role-playing game, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And that's it for me. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day, which today means writing your senators and congresspeople and demanding they end the practice of splitting up families at the American border. Remember, no matter how bad and scary it gets, self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.